Have you ever considered what it might be like to survive a cold winter without heat, gas, or electricity? Sounds impossible, right? Surprisingly, some of the best heating strategies originate from the Amish, a society that has mastered the art of basic living. For years, they've kept their homes warm and cozy throughout harsh winters, without relying on modern technology or incurring high heating bills. When it comes to staying warm, the Amish follow one golden rule: layering. What about their hidden weapon, the renowned quilts and wool blankets? Do you recognize the elaborate, handcrafted quilts shown in tourist shops? They're more than just attractive decorations. They're engineering marvels built for maximum warmth. These quilts are not your typical department shop blankets. They are made up of several thick layers of cotton, wool, and in some cases down feathers. Each layer functions as a cozy suit of armor, trapping pockets of warm air between the textiles. But the true star of the performance is wool. Unlike synthetic clothing, which can make you feel clammy, wool naturally drains sweat while retaining body heat. But the Amish do not stop there. They put heavy wool blankets on top of their quilts to form a fortress of warmth. With their long wool pajamas or flannel nightgowns, you have a head-to-toe heating system that would make even a polar bear jealous. No exposed wrists, no chilly ankles, just comfortable, continuous warmth. Do you remember those chilly mornings when you could see your breath in the air? Yes, the Amish do not have that problem. Many Amish households can keep their chambers cozy throughout the winter, even without heating, thanks to their smart bedding plan. But what about in the daytime? After all, the entire house should be warm, right? That's where the Amish bring out their main weapon, the brick heater, commonly known as the Russian stove. This bit of old-world engineering outperforms modern heating systems. This isn't your normal fireplace. It's more of a heat-hoarding behemoth. Consider a big building constructed of brick or stone that sits in the center of your home as a dramatic room divider. This beast contains a smart network of twisting passages similar to a hot air roller coaster. When you light a fire in the combustion chamber, instead of allowing the heat to escape directly up the chimney, as in a typical fireplace, these channels require the hot air to travel a scenic detour. The surrounding brickwork absorbs all of the heat, transforming into a massive thermal sponge. Here's the secret. After just 2 or 3 hours of burning, the brick heater continues to provide warmth for up to 24 hours. Consider a miniature sun in your living room that never sets. Unlike modern heaters, which blast hot air 1 minute and leave you shivering the next, stone heaters produce a slow, continuous heat. It's less like being in front of a hairdryer and more like being engulfed in a warm hug. But wait, there's more. These innovative contraptions are not only effective, but also extremely efficient with wood. While your neighbor may be feeding their wood furnace like it's a bottomless pit, Amish people manage with surprisingly little firewood. After a big burn in the morning, their home remains cozy all day. It's like stretching one dinner to feed an entire family for a week. Of course, like any good relationship, masonry heaters require some TLC to keep things operating well. To prevent creosote development, the channels must be cleaned on a regular basis. Imagine your stove having a spa day. Occasionally, the bricks require inspection for cracks or wear, but the Amish have everything figured out. They conduct upkeep throughout the summer while the cooker is on vacation. Here's the greatest part. Masonry heaters aren't simply functional, they're also the heart of the home, both physically and metaphorically. Imagine a cold winter evening with your family gathered around this warm stone centerpiece, swapping stories as its soothing heat spreads around the room. It's like having a bonfire indoors, but without the smoke and with far more comfort. But let us not overlook the other star of the show. Amish insulating techniques. Have you heard of using maize cobs as wall insulation? Most of us throw them in the compost, but the Amish dry them and stack them within wall cavities. What was the result? Natural air spaces trap heat better than you'd expect. Then there's sheep wool, nature's clever insulator. It draws moisture away in the winter and releases it in the summer, demonstrating that Mother Nature knows best. When it comes to discovering drafts, the Amish could teach modern energy auditors a few things. Their renowned candle test is delightfully simple. Walk around with a lit candle near windows and doors. If the flame flickers, you have located a draft. Need to inspect window seals. There's a penny test for that. If a penny can stand on its edge in the gap, it's time to fix the seal now. But their innovative solutions do not end there. Heavy quilted drapes over doors provide nightly protection against the cold, while door snakes, long fabric tubes packed with feed corn, keep drafts out of beneath doorways. Around the windows, they install temporary storm windows made of recycled barnwood. During strong cold snaps, they roll down thick straw mats for added protection. Even their floor insulation becomes sophisticated. Do you think braided rag rugs are simply for decoration? They're carefully braided thicker in places where people frequently stand, such as near the kitchen sink or fireplace. Root cellars are strategically located to take advantage of the Earth's natural warmth, while straw bales around foundations provide a natural barrier against freezing winds. They also use sawdust and lime to fill in minor gaps and cracks, a simple, practical, and environmentally beneficial solution. Finally, for those looking to go deeper into time-tested survival wisdom, there are several fantastic resources accessible. A book by Claude Davis, an experienced prepper, contains 126 superfoods and preservation techniques from crisis periods such as the Great Depression and World War II, knowledge that is becoming increasingly scarce. Nicole Apelian has also written an excellent natural treatments handbook, which is well worth reading. Links to these books can be found in the Frugal Solutions channel description and any of our video descriptions. The Amish don't simply survive winter, they thrive on it. Their inventiveness, reverence for nature, and originality make their methods ageless and inspiring. And don't forget about the minor cracks and holes throughout the house. The Amish have a solution for that as well. It's similar to DIY expanding foam, but it has been in use for generations before expanding foam was conceived. They fill cracks and crevices using a simple mix of sawdust and lime, resulting in a long-lasting natural sealant. What about the big quilted drapes you see in Amish homes? They are not simply single-layered. No, these bad boys are constructed with 4 to 5 layers of fabric, resulting in a thermal barrier so good that current insulation companies would be green with jealousy. Once the heat is trapped inside, the problem is to distribute it throughout the house. And this is where the Amish truly excel. Their dwellings are created with a thorough grasp of natural airflow, transforming them into passive heating systems that would impress even modern architects. The Amish believe in a simple principle: warm air rises. Instead of combating physics, they exploit it to their advantage. Open stairs operate as invisible air highways, transporting warmth from the first floor to the bedrooms above. Even doorways are intentionally placed to create natural air currents, which help to transfer heat evenly throughout the house. Their homes serve as huge chimneys for warmth. Heat from wood burners or stone heaters begins on the ground floor and climbs naturally, warming each level as it goes. To make the procedure even more efficient, Amish families frequently keep internal doors open during the day, allowing heat to flow freely. Here's another clever trick: heat storing blocks. Placed near heat sources such as stoves, these bricks absorb warmth throughout the day. When the evening chill sets in, the warm bricks can be transferred to cooler rooms and function as portable radiators. No electricity necessary. But here's where things become even more interesting. The Amish have perfected a surprise source of heat that most of us overlook: candles. Believe it or not, a single candle may elevate the temperature of a small room by a few degrees. While most modern homes use electric lights that provide little to no warmth, the Amish incorporate lighting into their heating plan. Oil lamps and candles are more than simply decorative items. They also provide additional heat. These flickering flames, placed strategically throughout the property, make a dramatic difference, especially on cold evenings when the main heat source begins to fade. Candle holders placed near stoves or brick heaters absorb and radiate heat, forming a type of heat relay system that distributes warmth throughout the room. A few strategically placed oil lamps in smaller locations, such as bedrooms or sitting rooms, can turn a cold night into a warm one. The mild, constant heat from these flames complements the Amish's insulating practices, ensuring a comfortable environment even in cold weather. Another benefit of all this illumination is that it encourages families to gather in the same room. As everyone huddles together, body heat provides an additional layer of warmth. It's an easy, natural method to stay comfortable and a wonderful reminder of the power of community. If you thought candles and oil lamps were ingenious, Wait till you hear their next winter's survival secret. Cooking in an Amish home is more than simply preparing food. It is a master class in multitasking for warmth. Their regular culinary practices also serve as a heating technique, demonstrating that a well-planned supper can warm both the stomach and the home. During the colder months, Amish households rely on hearty, slow-cooked foods that serve two purposes. Consider soups boiling for hours, pot roasts that take half a day to prepare, and fresh bread baking till golden. Not only do these dishes fill the house with delicious fragrances, but they also turn the kitchen into a cozy heat source. Their wood-fired cook stoves are incredibly efficient. Unlike modern electric ovens, which cool down the moment you turn them off, antique stoves maintain heat long after the cooking is finished. And because Amish kitchens are frequently centrally positioned, the warmth spreads into adjacent rooms, making it feel like the center of the house, literally, but it does not end there. The Amish use innovative techniques to get the most out of their cooking heat. Take bread warmers as an example. These little cast iron or ceramic pots absorb heat from the stove and retain it for hours. After keeping dinner rolls warm, they are frequently relocated to other rooms and used as little space heaters whenever additional warmth is required. Even the timing of their meals is part of their heating strategy. Major cooking operations are completed during the coolest times of the day, early mornings or late afternoons. This is not merely for convenience. It is a purposeful decision to provide heat when it is most needed. A morning of bread baking warms the house as everyone begins their day, while afternoon cooking keeps the kitchen toasty as the sun goes down and temperatures drop. The Amish ensure that no heat goes to waste. Even the cleanup procedure helps. Hot water for dishwashing generates steam and warmth in the kitchen. Used cookware is allowed to cool naturally, enabling leftover heat to escape around the room rather than being pushed out. It is all about extracting every ounce of warmth from their efforts. But what about those extremely cold days when cooking heat simply isn't enough? Surprisingly, some Amish towns employ gas heating, but their method is deliberate and minimal. For them, gas heaters are like an emergency flashlight, used only when absolutely required, such as during bone-chilling cold snaps that their dependable wood burners cannot manage. These modest gas heaters serve as a backup, not a primary source, exemplifying the Amish attitude of employing modern conveniences sparingly and prudently. Even the usage of gas lighting is strategic. These lamps give light on cold winter hours, but they also emit a small amount of heat. It is insufficient to warm an entire room on its own, but when combined with other approaches, it adds another ingenious layer to their heating plan. In an Amish home, every source of heat, no matter how modest, counts. Candles, oil lights, and even strategically positioned gas appliances help to create a cozy atmosphere. Consider it a network of little space heaters spread throughout the house, each doing its thing to keep the family warm. In some Amish kitchens, you may see a gas cooker alongside the conventional wood-burning one. However, don't expect it to run continuously like in modern homes. The Amish use these stoves with great moderation, using them just for specific cooking tasks and turning them off once finished. Their approach is focused about increasing energy efficiency. It's usual to observe an Amish cook using the leftover heat from one dish to begin making another, extracting every ounce of warmth and energy from the process. What's incredibly remarkable is how the Amish incorporate contemporary comforts without allowing them to take over their lives. They regard gas equipment as instruments rather than crutches. They are utilized carefully and mindfully. You won't find an Amish household turning on a gas heater simply because the room is chilly. Instead, they'll start with more traditional tactics, such as layering clothing, moving closer to the wood stove, or participating in physical exercise to naturally generate body heat. Despite having access to gas heating, the Amish remain loyal to traditional draft prevention techniques. Those tightly sealed windows, snug-fitting doors, and insulated walls are just as important when using gas as they are when using wood. After all, what's the use of using a heater if the heat escapes through inadequately insulated areas? It's like attempting to fill a bucket with a hole in it, wasteful and inefficient. The Amish approach to gas heating provides a significant lesson for the rest of us. Just because we have contemporary conveniences does not imply we should abuse them. Their careful use of petrol demonstrates how old wisdom and modern technology may coexist to provide comfort without sacrificing ideals or waste resources. But this is where the Amish truly shine, literally. Their creative utilization of natural sunlight for heating demonstrates how much we can learn by observing and accepting nature's patterns. The Amish make full use of this free and abundant resource, from strategically placed windows that collect the sun's warmth during the day to the use of reflective surfaces to direct light and heat deeper into their homes. It is a cost-free solution that regularly works, demonstrating their genius in combining practicality and sustainability. When it comes to heating their homes, the Amish have mastered something that many of us underestimate: the power of the sun. But we're not talking about high-tech solutions like solar panels. Instead, their method is far simpler and, frankly, genius in its effectiveness. The Amish recognize that home design and daily habits are essential for capturing the sun's warmth. While modern homes may arrange their furnishings based on a TV or aesthetics, Amish households design their living spaces around the sun's daily path. South-facing windows serve as natural heating zones, especially during the winter months when every bit of sunlight matters. On beautiful winter days, Amish dwellings perform a meticulously orchestrated dance with the sun. The curtains on the south side are opened wide as soon as the morning sun appears, allowing those wonderful warming rays to enter. These aren't your average windows. They're generally huge and purposefully positioned on south-facing walls to maximize the sun's warmth. The beauty of their design is found in how they store free heat. Many Amish dwellings have substantial stone or brick walls around these sunny areas. These materials operate as thermal batteries, absorbing heat during the day and gradually releasing it after sunset. It's nature's heat pump, and it's shockingly effective. A room with good thermal mass can sustain a reasonable temperature long after the sun has set, preventing the chill without the use of any appliances. Their daily habits are similarly based on the sun's rhythm. An Amish family might be quilting or reading in the sunniest room in the afternoon, as they naturally gravitate to the warmest locations. As the sun advances, they'll relocate to other rooms to take advantage of the heat without requiring any additional resources. It's like having a mobile heating system that costs nothing to use. Looking at all of these inventive heating methods, from cozy quilts to savvy use of sunlight, it's evident that the Amish approach to staying warm does not involve shunning contemporary technology. It is about understanding and applying natural concepts. They use resources sensibly and have a strong connection to nature's rhythms. Their methods serve as a reminder that the most effective solutions are often the simplest. These time-tested ways have kept Amish households warm over endless winters, demonstrating that you don't need cutting-edge technology to be comfortable. Perhaps we can all learn something from their intelligent, ecological approach to heating, one that values tradition and the environment while keeping expenses